in a quiet, overlooked corner of the city, where dreams often fade before they begin, lived a young man named Adam. His world was small. A tiny room, old walls, a window that barely let the light in. Every morning, he woke up not with excitement, but with pressure. Bills he couldn't pay, responsibilities he didn't choose, and a future he couldn't clearly see. Adam wasn't lazy. He tried, over and over again. He searched for jobs, knocked on doors, applied everywhere. But rejection became his daily routine. "We'll call you. You're not qualified. Try somewhere else." Each word felt heavier than the last. And the hardest part? Watching others succeed while he stood still. Friends moved forward. People his age built careers, started businesses, lived the life he once imagined. And him? He was stuck. One day, after being rejected again, he walked home slowly under the burning sun. His phone buzzed, a message from someone he once called a friend. "Bro, you're still trying? Maybe it's just not for you." Adam didn't reply, but that message echoed in his mind all night. Maybe they were right. Maybe he wasn't meant for anything great. That night, the weight of everything became too much. He sat on the floor, his back against the cold wall. And for the first time, he broke. One evening, after a long, exhausting day, his boss asked him to stay a little longer. "Just help with this one task," he said. It seemed small, almost meaningless, but Adam agreed. He focused. He gave it everything. What he didn't know was that someone important was watching. A visitor, a business owner, someone looking for a person, not with the best resume, but with the right character. Days later, Adam received a call. An opportunity. Unexpected. Unplanned. A chance to step into something bigger. He hesitated. Fear whispered, "What if you fail again?" But faith answered, "What if this is the door you prayed for?" So he took the risk. The beginning wasn't easy. New challenges, new pressure. But this time, he wasn't the same person anymore. He worked harder, learned faster, stayed patient, and slowly, things started to shift. Opportunities multiplied. Doors opened. People began to notice. The same man, who once couldn't find a job, was now building something of his own. Years later, Adam stood on a rooftop, looking over the city that once made him feel invisible. The sun was rising, warm light filled the sky, and for a moment, everything was quiet again. But this time, the silence felt different. It felt like peace. He smiled, with eyes full of gratitude, and said, "Now I understand. Every delay, every rejection, every tear. It was all part of your plan. You didn't abandon me. You were preparing me." So if you're watching this, and you feel lost, if life feels unfair, if nothing is going your way, hold on. Not everything you lose is a loss. Not every delay is a denial. Sometimes, God is writing a story, far greater than the one you had in mind. So trust Him, even in the silence, even in the struggle, because one day, you'll look back and realize it all made sense. Tears fell silently. His hands trembled. He looked up, with eyes full of pain and confusion, and said, "Oh God, I've tried everything. I'm tired, I'm lost. Why is nothing working?" Silence. No answer. No sign. Just stillness. For a moment, his faith shook, but deep inside, there was still a small voice, telling him not to give up. So he closed his eyes, took a deep breath, and whispered again, "I don't understand, but I trust you." That sentence was the turning point, not because life suddenly became easy, but because Adam changed. The next morning, nothing around him was different. Same room, same struggles, but inside him, there was calm, a quiet strength. He started small, very small. He took a job nobody wanted, long hours, little pay. People judged him. "Is this what you studied for? This is your level now?" He heard it all. But this time, he didn't let it break him, because he wasn't working for people anymore. He was working with purpose. He gave his best, even when nobody was watching. He stayed honest, Even when it was easier to cheat, he kept praying, even when answers were delayed. Days passed, then months. Life didn't magically change. There were still failures, still setbacks, moments where doubt came back stronger. But every time, he reminded himself, trust God.